In a world where two friends decided to watch movies from their youth, then decided to start a podcast about it, we present to you the Movie Test of Time. A podcast about the only medium that matters, the movies. Presenting your hosts, America's sweetheart, Beth Martin, and Irish ruffian, Andy Young. Hello, that's us, your silly and criminal hosts, this week looking at Raising Arizona. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
I'm so excited. I was already like, Andy, what time is it where you are?
And it was like exactly the same time
Is
as your
what
time.
my time is. So we're in the
Yeah.
same, we're not in the same country right now, but we are in the same time zone, soon to be in the same country.
Technically, we kind of are.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
But
I'm in
not in
the
the
UK.
same landmass? Yes.
So
I always forget the exact distinction. This is it's funny because like I'll talk about this, but like I was chatting to a friend who listens to the podcast, and he was saying that like it's terrible asking. It's when she asks you about like Northern Ireland or Ireland or any of those things because there's so much of it I don't know. I don't know about or I don't care about.
yeah.
You know.
Is it like,
So it's all like,
does it make you nervous? Or like, oh God,
no, I
okay.
don't really care. I just couldn't give a shit. I'm more like I just can't be bothered with
The nuance.
the nuance of it. Yeah, it's just like who gives a fuck, honestly.
It's not like
the same. It's the same with the Ireland, Northern Ireland thing. Let's say I couldn't give it. I'm from the island of Ireland. There you go. But some people will be like, oh well, actually, Northern Ireland is a distinct entity and blah blah, and I just don't fucking care. I just don't care.
it's cool. Like
know?
driving from Northern Ireland to Ireland,
Yes.
which you've done and I've done,
Yep.
and then crossing from the United States into Mexico, which you have done and I have done on foot. Quite a different experience.
Oh, radically different. Yes.
Yes.
And like it's an even bigger deal now because like, essentially you're stepping into the European Union with no border whatsoever, it's kind of crazy.
I didn't know whale. I'm like really embarrassed about some of the things, and I'm like, really? That's like, I didn't know you could just drive to Wales
Yeah.
and just drive there, and there's no like border crossing or like gate guy.
You'd be surprised how ignorant people who have spent their whole lives in England or like various other parts of the UK, are.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a band in they were from the Isle of Wight, I believe, and they played in Belfast called Coach Party, and they were like they had no idea that Northern Ireland was part of the United Kingdom. They had no clue at all.
It's like when people pronounce like Oregon, and I'm like, oh, no clue. Appalachian, not Appalachian.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Which
like,
one sounds?
oh, it's also kind of like did you understand what I was talking about? Yes. Then who cares?
Right. Exactly.
Fucking
Yes. Yeah.
grammar Nazis. Anyway, what a way to start the episode. It's just
Hey.
a full rant.
Yeah. So the crack is, I'm in Oxford. Yay!
Yay! There we go. Good news, everybody.
I'm
Beth's in
here,
Oxford.
I'm here. I'm in. If anyone's watching on the video side of things on YouTube or wherever they give you video now, I'm in Andy's room that he's going to be occupying in a couple days.
True.
You're going to have to bring more hangers.
No, I don't hang stuff.
Do you hang stuff? That's not. So you have one hanger, and I might have to take it away from you.
No,
It's
do
even
have
behind
I do.
me. I'm like, here it is, buddy. Here's your one hanger.
I can make it work. I mean, like, I'm not going to be bringing out a lot of stuff that needs to be hanged. I would probably have a shirt, maybe, and that's fine. I can hang it in the end, but,
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, you could. There's other places you can probably hang some
I can
things.
make it work.
We have pigeons, too. You'll be surprised to find out that I've adopted 2 pigeons. One of them's got a little gimpy foot, and they sit out there, and one's like flirting with the other one all day long. Like whatever the pigeon flirt sound.
Yep.
I just did that. I'm not going to ever do that again. Anyways, so the crack is I'm here, and we're going to have some adventures, and we'll tell you all about it later.
We have shitloads of pigeons in this country. Yeah, it's lousy with pigeons. Wait till you get to London. They're everywhere.
I mean, people get mad at pigeons, but we forget that they've been like our form of messages and mail far longer than the post office or the post
Yeah.
or the
It's
Pony
true.
Express or the Wells Fargo wagon. Those are things we
Yeah.
had in the United States.
All of the above.
Mm,
Um.
let's crack with you.
So.
More about me. No, I'm kidding.
No. Okay. No. We can. We absolutely can.
No.
So, what have I done since last we spoke? So, a couple of different things. I have been to Bray Jazz. So, whenever Beth came to visit a couple of years ago, we went down to Bray Jazz. We had a lovely time.
It was so fun.
We saw like an African jazz band that were exceptional. So this year I was meeting a bunch of guys, including Cahill, who you've met, and hi
Hey,
Cahill, he's
what's
probably
up,
listening,
buddy?
and a few other guys, and also Cahill's wife, and it was just a lovely time.
Oh, she's so nice.
It's like such a like I get to see those guys certainly in spits and spots, individually every now and again, only a couple of times a year, but it's always such a kind of treat being together. We always like laugh so much and like have such a lovely time, and in boy ways, by being like at least kind of mean to each other.
Yeah. Yes.
But like it's lovely, and they are a great bunch, and it's always nice to spend time with them. So always kind of like, even though like we were drinking and I like was feeling I didn't feel super hungover. I just like my energy levels were depleted for days afterwards.
That's called a 46-year-old hangover,
Yeah,
actually.
100%.
Yeah.
So like, but it's
Where you're
worth the
like,
trade
I
off
just feel
because
like I need a nap, but for like
yeah,
days. Yeah.
yeah,
That's yep.
it's worth the trade off.
Welcome to the Middle Ages.
A couple of times, what happened? One of the things that I that's going to stick out because it was wonderful is that one of my friends asked to dance with the Cahill at one point and asked if I could do him a 3-4 clap, like a Spanish clap. So 1 2 4 1 2 1 2 4, right? And I was doing this, and a Spanish person walked up to me and goes, "Are you Spanish?" And I'm like, "No." And she goes, "You're very good at that." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Did you play a musical instrument?
No, I've just got natural rhythm. Apparently.
Oh. Okay, next time you come to see us, I'm going to set you at the drum set and let you like see what happens. I
I
have
really
no
do.
natural rhythm.
I would love to learn an instrument. I just don't know what that looks like, and I don't know where I would find space for it. But like drums is something I've always thought might work quite well. But yeah,
Dude, they're so fucking cool.
yeah,
We had no space, we made space. And like watching my son rocking out, like he started playing the intro to Come Together from the Beatles,
yeah.
which like he's playing it slower than Ringo, but it's there and he gets it, and then he's like got Abby. It's like he's playing by ear kind of. He gets like his teacher shows him what to do and records, the teacher will record him. There's no like, you're not reading music, essentially. You're just listening
Gotcha.
and playing along. And it's super cool. For those that
That
can't
rocks.
sight read,
Yeah,
it's a good.
that's a lovely way to learn.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a really kind of natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Um,
That's awesome.
what else? So that was great weekend. We also then saw like the next night, Kieran and I went to see a guy called John Robb, who is like a sort of like punk singer slash or punk band member, I should say, slash journalist, who has kind of been like involved in the UK music scene since the like 70s.
Ooh.
Like doing a talk, and it was fascinating. Like he was somebody I was like not super aware of, though when he started talking about bands he was in, I had heard of them. And it was just such a really fascinating hearing somebody like that talk, and like his attitudes about like new music and things like that were really lovely. He was talking about people who are like vanguards for like, oh well, the best music was when I was a kid, but he's like, but everybody thinks that, like it's just that the music that's coming out now maybe isn't necessarily for you, but like there'll be people latching onto that and will be loving it, but like about keeping an open mind to what is out there rather than going all modern stuff is shit. Maybe like spread your net a little bit wider, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll find something that will work for you.
Yeah. Like what? Okay, I disagree with the statement of like what music we had as kids was like the best.
Yeah.
Like we had New Kids on the Block
100%.
and Milli Vanilli.
Yes. No, there was great bands back then, but there was also tons of trash, and that is true. I think about every generation. It's the whole sort of the rose tinted glasses of it all, where people are looking back and just go, "Oh, but we had Nirvana."
Well,
Leading the
yeah, that
vanguard of grunge and stuff.
once we hit
But
high
but
school,
we did. But
that
it's
was epic.
it's to forget that there's also loads of rubbish as well.
Yeah.
So, the other thing was went to see Hokum, which is
Why do I know that?
a horror movie starring Adam Scott of Severance.
Love him.
And
Love
also,
him.
he's the best. And
Did you hear about his experience at Coachella?
no,
He gave an interview and he was like, somehow my 17-year-old daughter and her friends got us to take them to Coachella. And he was like, it was fun. I wanted to go hear I think it was the Strokes that he was excited about going to see. But he was
sure,
like, after that, or you watch somebody and then there's a 2-hour break and there's nowhere to sit or lay down in between, different sets. And then we finally get to hear the band, Justin Bieber, whatever, who was amazing. And then trying to find the car was 2 hours, trying to get out of the parking lot was 5 hours. We went to bed at 5 a.m. And he's like,
yeah.
I'm just too old. I couldn't find any place to sit down or lay down. And it was not for me.
Coachella kind of sounds like a nightmare. For what is, I think, the biggest musical festival in the world currently.
Is it
It sounds like,
Oh.
I think it has become, in terms of I think not maybe importance is the wrong word, but in terms of visibility, I think it's the one that people know the most. More
It's
than
the one that's
Glastonbury,
on
sadly.
everyone's social media.
Yes,
Yes.
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 But I can't believe there are 2 hour gaps between shows. Between bands. That's fucking crazy to me.
I don't know if that's accurate because I've never actually been, but it's
Okay.
maybe you don't want to hear anybody that's playing during a certain time. So you're like, oh, let me find a
Maybe.
place to chill, and you can't.
Yeah,
And
that's fair.
anyways, I've never been, but I don't.
Fascinating.
It's
Anyway,
not on my list. Sorry. Yes, go.
No, me neither. He's in Hokum. It's basically about an American novelist who comes to Ireland to finish his book because it's where his parents honeymooned. Basically where his in this specific hotel where his parents honeymooned. And it's lovely. It's this is going to sound insulting, but it's a nice straightforward horror, but it has lots of really good scares, and it's just it got a cool premise and it delivers on it nicely. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was lovely, and it was mostly an Irish cast and stuff, and it was really nice.
And Adam Scott.
And Adam Scott, who I
Maybe
always...
he's got some history there with his genetics.
It's very possible. He's one of my favorites. So I've told you about my Beefcake Trinity, right?
Yeah. Please. If I remember, but maybe not everybody else. So
which is Adam Scott, Paul Rudd, and John Hamm, who all seem like lovely men. They're all cutie pies, and also they'd all make you laugh, I think.
Yeah, and you could go see a Bad Bunny show.
100%.
And then you could see, everybody rocking out, having a good time. I don't disagree with that. That made my Trinity very easy. Holy Trinity. Yeah. Anything else for crack?
Nope.
I have a couple things for what's occurring. Okay, so occasionally I have a fun animal interaction and you call me the cross between Snow White and Ace Ventura, and you're like, listeners, please make up whatever nickname you think this should be. So we have 2. Snows Whitura or Snace Witura. So you guys can just let me know which one you like better and vote somewhere, and then we will start referring to my animal adventures as again, that.
Please?
I'm going to send them to you on WhatsApp.
Okay, thanks.
And you can try and pronounce them the way that they should be pronounced. Here they come.
They sound I love a tortured word structure, but that sounds like it's been tortured to death. But
I feel or it was done very lazily. I don't know.
Okay. Let me have a look at these and I'll review.
Okay. Also, closing out our Malik month. Um, so you gave a review of The Tree of Life, and basically, like, finishing up our month. So top fan, high top fan, said was anticipating this view from Andy. In fact, the reason this whole Malik verse came about was because I was rankled. My feathers were downright ruffled when Andy dismissed Malik as, I think, meandering, indulgent bullshit, which I actually said. And I thought he had already seen Tree of Life and maybe The New World and was bashing his cheeky quip on those. Now I'm not sure at all what prompted that quip. What Terrence Malick films had he seen before you guys decided to do this? Like I've said before, I saw The Thin Red Line when it was in the cinemas, and it got me good. I was all in on everything it was doing because of my impressionable age. The Tree of Life was a mixed bag for me, however. There's a scene where some boys are walking down a path that hit me like nothing else has in cinema, like I was eating the magic ratatouille and being transported to my own childhood, and I regularly listened to the transient lacrimosa that plays during the Horsehead Nebula scenes. It's when, like, the birth of, the universe is happening, if I recall correctly. But other than that, I've never chosen to revisit it. So you weren't wrong, is what Top Fan is saying. Maybe about some things you were, but I've had to let them know that we chose Malik because you had never seen a Malik film.
I have never seen one. I had never seen one. Like, and I admit that, my opinion was kind of shaped by a variety of things.
Yeah.
And all, and like, but I knew it was like a prejudice thing, and I knew that I had no real standing for it because I hadn't seen anything. So, I'll tell you a story. There's a guy, a friend of mine, and he, the way he plays video games is very different to how I play video games, and I play with him online here and there. And one time I remember, we would like sometimes come together and like, just like have pizza and stuff and like play games together. And, a few of us. And at one time I was in, the kitchen having a slice of pizza with my friend, and we came back in, and our friend was just like standing by a tree in a video game. So it's like a Call of Duty game. And he's just like walking around this tree, looking at it from different angles. Like looking at it from the top and scrolling down and going around the different sides of it. And like he must have been doing that for 20 minutes. And he is the biggest Terrence Malick fan that I know. And that just spoke to me in a way of like, that's what Terrence Malick fans are. I don't want to look at a tree for 20 minutes. And I know that that's unfair. And I understand it now. Certainly, now that I've seen some of his films, I get it. But that was my prejudiced opinion coming to this,
but it's
that
like,
series.
it wasn't like he was standing in nature looking at a tree.
No, he was looking at a video game tree.
Yeah, so I think that's the line I would draw. If it was a real tree, I would be like, oh,
I could see
you
it.
just need to take a little jaunt to Walden Pond and be a little transcendentalist, which like is not,
right?
It's my least favorite of whatever the pretend religions are. Anyways, that's not true. But you can live in transcendentalism when you have like hired help, and you can sit by your beautifully manicured lake or pond if it's, been thoroughly cut. All the grass has been cut, all the flowers are blooming because someone else did it for you. Anyways.
Yeah, you know who doesn't respect transcendental meditation? Mosquitoes.
Right?
They have zero respect, zero regard for it whatsoever. Okay. So, do we have any more what's occurring, or should we move on?
I don't think so. I think we can move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, start of an all new season.
Yes.
A Nicolas Cage season. Woohoo! I mean, like, Jesus, take your pick from Nicolas Cage films, but we're starting with a great one, which is Raising Arizona, which is lovely. It's like a. Geez, what a change! So our last movie that we watched was Bringing Out the Dead, and it is like literally like day and night.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. It was like I believe his character in this, and I believe that I believe the wackiness of his hair. Like I don't know. This is a movie that was a fun time, I will say.
It's 100%. Like, I mean, I have been mulling over shaving down to a moustache for the summer, and I think this has tipped me
Yeah.
over the edge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Agreed. I think, though, you could do something with like your hair with a really big, like, okay, I have a
Yeah.
fact that I can't hold it back.
Go
It's
for it.
so good. Okay, so Nicolas Cage, we'll get there, but the character in this movie, he's got some crazy hair. So courting, and the Coen brothers made the movie, so you already know that because you've already seen the movie and you're following along. So according to Ethan Coen, Nicolas Cage was crazy about his Woody Woodpecker hair and that it reacted to HI's stress level. The bigger the danger he's in, the bigger the wave the hair gets. So knowing that, I read that like halfway through watching the movie, and I was like, "Kids, look at it now!" And they're like, "Oh,
That
he's
rocks.
really in danger." So
Um,
so good.
I so I'm going to tell you more detail about this when I see
Okay.
you. But I cataloged my comic book collection recently,
Huh.
and have reached out a few places to sell. I've got a really good price that I'm happy with, and I'm going to go with that.
What?
When I told my mum that I had got them sold, she was first very pleased, and the very first question she asked me after that was, "Oh, great! Do you think you have enough money to get a haircut then?" What a harsh fucking burn.
I'm not saying cut your hair. No, no,
She
no.
is.
I know. Very, very.
Anyway,
Yeah. There's no like reading between the lines there. It's plain and
right?
simple.
That just encourages me to keep it for longer.
No. Yeah, yeah.
Um.
It's like
Okay.
your
So
Scottish
shall we get
heritage. You
in?
can't.
Yeah,
Yes, let's.
that's
Okay.
it.
So, yes, Raising Arizona, released in 1987. So we were still little bitty things when we
Mm-hmm.
probably watched it. So it starts with this guy that likes to rob stores and likes to visit jail. His name is H.I. McDonough.
Yep.
Or Hi, they call him also, and policewoman Edwina. They fall in love. She's works in the jail and is the person that does like the fingerprinting and the photos. They end up marrying, falling in love, then discover that they are unable to conceive a child. Desperate for a baby, the pair decide to kidnap one of the quintuplets of a furniture store tycoon, Nathan, Arizona. The McDonoughs try to keep their crime secret while friends, coworkers, and a feral bounty hunter look to use Nathan Jr. for their own purposes. Nathan Jr.
Yep.
is the baby. So
I like when I was thinking about this film, I had a memory of it almost being more of a like a road trippy. Maybe not road trip, but you know what I mean, like a constant like them
moving.
being pursued by the police. But it's not. It's not really
Mm-mm,
at all. There's an
mm-mm.
element of that, but it's not that. It's not that movie. Um, but yeah, what like a complete like it's so wacky and chaotic in such a wonderful way. It really is. And like, geez, you know, Holly Hunter, what a cutie pie.
Oh my
Nicolas
God.
Cage,
Oh my
also
God.
wonderful. You know,
Yes.
they're just so wonderful. It's just really great to kind of see them both at like the height of their powers. You know.
The height of their powers.
Well, that's maybe not
It's true.
true.
It's true.
I think they had great stuff. Both of them have great stuff after this, but I think they're both on fire in this film.
They really are.
Um,
The Coen brothers actually wrote this part for Holly Hunter.
oh, really?
So she and Frances McDormand, who is married to one of the Coen brothers, which one
Yes.
I cannot remember, the two ladies were college roommates. And so they were
Ah, okay.
like, so they've known each other forever and they wrote it for her. And I will say she did a hell of a job in
She
this role.
rocks. She really rocks.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so yes, directors were the Coen brothers. We've talked about them before with Miller's Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll not talk too much about, you know, them. We've talked about it in other episodes. You can look into them, but I'll just talk a little bit about them in relation to this film. What's I think interesting about this film in particular is that they only really had Blood Simple before this.
Yes.
And Blood Simple was kind of a grounded, kind of gritty, kind of like murder, betrayal kind of story.
Have you
And
seen
this
it?
is, I have, but not for a long time. I barely remember it, to be honest
Okay.
with you. And I think at the time the reception of this was not people enjoyed it, but people were expecting that, and then they got this like complete zany kind of like very zany movie. But although I think in its time, I think people did enjoy it. I think it was a hit. It just wasn't what I think the kind of fans of Blood Simple were expecting, but it reached a much wider audience as a result. And I think what happened was that those two things, that kind of like grounded, kind of like gritty kind of murder mystery, and that kind of like wacky, zany kind of thing became like the twin pillars of all the kind of Coen Brothers films. I mean, like, if you think about like, like it's hard to say what their current achievement is, but like if you think about Fargo, those things are both in effect and are both like such a part of what makes that film such a success.
Yeah.
And I love any filmmaker who can really go into a very different direction and really make it work, and I think they do such an incredible job with this.
What's amazing to me is like, you get two people that work well together. And like I've been thinking about this a lot actually with like when it comes to rock and roll, because I'm listening to a lot of different bands. And because my son's learning to play the drums, but he can't understand the concept of why certain, like why did Simon and Garfunkel break up, or like why did the Beatles break up? Like he can't comprehend the fact that you can do this amazing thing and make this beautiful work and then decide not to do it anymore. And I'm like, it's like, like it's like chemistry. It's like how well our family gets along right now. Who knows in 5 years with, kids growing up, but like it's got to be the right fit. Otherwise, it's not, it's just not going to work.
And I think as well, like, also that the elements that allow you to like, make incredible art together aren't also necessarily the same elements that like make you friends. You know what I mean? And I think that like so many groups, I think, they have, certainly some of them seem to be friends, but I don't think that's always the case. It's like people you work with, I guess. Like sometimes you're going to be like, yeah, I can work with this person, okay, but I have zero interest in it being anything other than that.
Yes, but the Coen brothers are brothers. They can't get rid of each other. And so this is what's so interesting to me is that like, I am a fan. I haven't seen all their movies. I don't like all their movies. Oh, I just broke your desk. But
no.
Sorry. Blame that on you. But like, the fact that they can make such different, amazing movies and have the same vision, like the vision for this movie, how do you come together? And you're both like, yeah, that works. Yeah, that works.
Yes.
Let's birth these dudes out of the mud. Like they're coming out of the primordial ooze and also being like birthed, right?
It's true. I think that like, so what's interesting is, and I feel like maybe I'm repeating myself, I don't care.
Whatever.
Is that since they kind of like broke away to do their own separate things, one of them did like Hamlet, I think, and like was a very kind of serious, heavy kind of version of Hamlet with Denzel Washington, and the other one did like Honey Don't and Drive Away Dolls, which were seen to be like too wacky and out there. Like I still haven't seen those films, so I don't want to make a judgment on them. But like that was the idea was that maybe it was the two of them that kind of like ended up merging and making that combination that worked so well.
Like one can like calm the other down, the other one can be like, don't do something that's already done. Let's write something else. Everyone's done Hamlet.
Exactly.
My lord. Okay, so love the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
Love them together when they work. And also apart, like they're allowed to do that too. But, and I haven't seen Honey Don't, but I'm very excited too. So, how do you come up with an idea like Raising Arizona?
That's a good question.
So I love the Coen brothers. It's interesting because based on who knows who makes what rules, you can't have two directors. So one of them, I think you said this last episode, one of them is always listed as like executive producer, the other, and the other is listed as director. And maybe they do tradesies and like, your turn to be director and I'll be the executive producer. So they both worked on the screenplay. They both directed it. They both produced it. But they started working on Raising Arizona just with this small, tiny idea that they wanted it to be very different from Blood Simple. They wanted something more optimistic, something more upbeat. And they had this idea about like having a convict who has a desire to live like a regular life within the boundaries of the law. And so they created, the character of High. So to create their character's dialect, Joel and Ethan created a hybrid of local dialect and assumed reading material of the characters, namely magazines and the Bible. Like Good Housekeeping and Bible. In contrast, Blood Simple, the characters in Raising Arizona were written to be very sympathetic. The Coens wrote the character Ed for Holly Hunter, which I said. The character of Leonard Smalls was created when the Coen brothers tried to envision an evil character. So Leonard Smalls plays. It's funny because he's not small at all. He plays this giant bounty hunter. But they wanted an evil character, not from their imagination, but one that the character would have thought up. So his name is widely thought to be a reference to the character of Lenny Small from John Steinbeck's small, I guess it was a regular size book of Mice and Men.
Yeah.
John Goodman was drawn to characters of great feeling guys who could explode or start weeping at any moment. And it took 3.5 months to write the script. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Guess how much they paid to make this movie?
Wait, you mean the budget?
Yeah, what was the budget?
I actually know, so I can't guess.
Okay, tell me what you know.
It's well, as far as I know, it's $6 million.
It was $5 million.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So they came to whoever that was, the thumbs up, thumbs down guy, and they had the storyboard. They had the cast ready to go. Like they were just like, here it is, and we can do it for this amount of money. So I feel like it's such a well shot movie, but that's because they had to really think it through, and there was no room to fudge up to $6 million.
I think because as far as I know, they have a reputation for being really kind of good with their budget, which I think is one of the reasons that they have found funding relatively easy in the grand scheme of things. Because any filmmakers that can come in on or under budget, it's like, you're okay with me, pal. Because it's a rarity.
It is.
Okay, so the music, just again, wonderful music, is
so good.
Somebody else who we have had. Or we've talked about in the podcast before, Carter Burwell. He has literally worked with the Coens on every one of their projects. I think he's missed a few, but by and large, he's done all of them. Mm-hmm. This was a big sort of change in composing style, based on what he'd done before. And once he kind of saw what the film was, he was like, okay, we need to take it in a really kind of insane direction, like a chaotic direction. Lots of yodels, lots of banjos. I honestly think that it is a beautiful film and it's so well directed, but I think it is really, for me, the key element that makes the film
music.
What it is.
Agreed.
It's the heart of it.
Yeah.
It's it sets the tempo in such a wonderful way, and it just sets this kind of propulsive pace, and it's, especially in the scenes that really need it, but yeah, it's just a wonderful score.
Did you know I can yodel?
Oh, can you?
Yeah, I'm not going to do it right now, but when I see you in a couple days, then I'll do that. I'll do.
Perfect. I can't do it.
I will. I'll do the Raising Arizona yodel for you. Yeah. And I was watching it with the kids, and they're looking at me, and they're like, "You can yodel," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know what it even is. Are you just dropping octaves? I don't know."
That's a good question. It's a whole thing. And certainly in certain countries, like in Austria and Switzerland.
I don't know. It's like your voice breaking. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, more for later. More for later, Andy. Okay, so I also love the music, and there's some movies where I'm like, blah blah blah, but it was perfect. It was perfect. It
It really
added to the
was.
humor. It
Mm-hmm.
added to the scariness.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was fabulous. So it's like, is this movie like, do I believe the world they created? Because they kind of did. They're just like, nebulous desert, but also yodeling and banjos, like which you don't really have in Arizona or wherever.
Yeah.
That's not true. I'm sure there are banjos. No, general observation, but I'm not trying to be a sweeping generalist. So apologies. But I just like the cast was amazing. Helen Hunt, Nicolas Cage, John Goodman, who shows up in a lot of the Coen Brothers movies, Frances McDormand, with her. I almost feel like her wig was also a secondary character. It was very good. I just thought that they all did a really good job and work together very well. Also, like the scenes when they're all just kind of, it's just so good. It's so good.
Um, I have to say, like, obviously, it's a very difficult section at the end of the podcast for me, but all of the clothes in this film are fantastic as well.
Agreed.
Everybody's just, it's just so good. Like, whenever Dot shows up with her husband, they kind of like, especially her husband has that real sort of like, I don't know, smug dickhead sort of look.
Yeah. Yeah.
In his holiday clothes, just down to perfection.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
He's like, and they're swingers and they've got a car and there's a sticker on the window that says, I drive naked.
Yeah. That was such a perfect distillation of who that guy was.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. So I had just like general thoughts. And this was like before. I also liked, the way they edited it so that you watch probably like the first 15 minutes maybe of the movie. And then they tell you the name of the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm like taking notes like, Hi's hair is funny. I like I love it. I love that he narrates this movie, and I love all of the words that he says in order to narrate the movie. It's like poetry, and it just lays it out for you in a very different way than you would probably, if he wasn't narrating it, you would have a different view of it, right?
Yes.
So you get from his perspective.
Yeah, like, I mean, such a, like, and it's such an, like, it is, like you say, a long setup, but it's a really kind of wonderful setup, and it feels like, it's launching you into what the movie is in a really kind of nice way.
Yeah. And like in the beginning, before you know what the movie is, like he's in and out of jail several times, and like his roommate loves crawdads and is talking about like all the different ways you can eat crawdads. And I was like, I could listen to him talk about crawdads forever. And then he was like living in an Airstream, and then I was like, that's a good size Airstream. And then I was like, then my mind goes in like different directions. And I was like, that size Airstream, like these days, like you can't even get a Bambi, like, which is the smaller, like 21-foot version that I thought, I was going to get when I was, in my 20s and wanted to go to Burning Man every year. Sure. It's like $45,000 US.
Wow.
And that's like, those are used. It's like $80,000.
They have become such a like an aspirational thing now, though.
Yes, they have. It's true.
Because like in the good old days, it was just people like Hi and Ed, and also like Mel Gibson on the beach.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey too, I think.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. Oh, right. No, but Matthew McConaughey actually was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I don't know if that's before or after Bongos. And then he was outside, like watering the desert plants, and he's wearing a fashion statement that I really miss very, very much. And that is a good, like, ankle, not higher than ankle. So what, like mid-high white sock with a good black flip-flop in between the toes.
I saw that.
And I was like, socks and flip-flops. And the kids are like, why would you do that? And I was like, everybody did. And then you drank out of the hose. Ha ha. Right? Yeah. So, and then after that, I wrote, great intro. Because all of that had happened before we see the Raising Arizona. And even that shot, I was like, oh, it's so well done.
Here we go.
Yeah. And then the yodeling. And I said, what is yodeling even?
No, I just like I feel. Geez, there's so much to talk about this film. Like so much that I really enjoyed. I feel like the cast is excellent across the board. We've already mentioned a couple of people, but like John Goodman and William Forsythe playing brothers
Yes.
are just fantastic.
Yes.
I wrote down I like how much pomade they use.
So much pomade! So much pomade!
This is a great scene of them after they've broken out of jail, just basically using an entire tub of pomade just to like grease up their hair. It rocks.
And then like they're leaving they're leaving the bathroom, and like one of them grabs another like big hunk of pomade and slaps it on there, and like total like 1950s greaser style hair. And now I'm like, now I know how to do it.
And their ongoing bit is them just screaming a lot.
Yes.
Which sounds like it could be obnoxious, but works quite well. Their breakout of jail of just him bursting through the mud is just absolutely sensational.
Yes. Like the beast busting out of the primordial ooze.
It is.
And then at the end, it's them going back into the primordial ooze, like covered in blue paint. It was so good. So they go and we don't really talk about them stealing a baby, but they do. They go. These people have had quintuplets: Barry, Gary, Larry, and Jerry, and Nathan Jr.
Yeah,
is the fifth baby. So then I was thinking. Then my mind went off into like, I don't know, Highland, like the character, not me being high. And I was like, okay, how would that dynamic be once they're all growing and you have Barry, Larry, Jerry, and whoever else, and Nathan Jr.? Like Nathan Jr. is going to be the favorite, and he's going to inherit the non-varnished or painted furniture company.
The number one
furniture
company.
Yes. So I was like, this family's already fucked because they needed to all be naming. Don't ever add a junior to a quintuplet family.
It's true.
And then there was some point where they're in the bathroom and there's a sign that says, "We aim to please. Will you please aim?" Like for peeing. Yeah. And I was like, maybe that should be our outro for this podcast. I don't know. We'll workshop it.
That's not bad. Yeah. I like it.
Okay.
So what else did I have here? Yeah, like I also really kind of loved. I mean, they're all in the same range, but like I love the accents. Yeah. Were almost wonderful across the board. Just really kind of well done, lived in, felt authentically crazy, so it was just really lovely in that regard. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you want to talk about.
I have facts.
Okay, so we move into some facts.
Okay, so I have two different types of facts. I have for this specific, and then I was like, I need to know more about Nicolas Cage. So which do you want first?
Give me the Nicolas Cage stuff.
Okay, so from our last movie, we found out that he and Patricia Arquette were married. So yes. He proposed to her on the day he met her in the early 1980s. Arquette thought he was rather strange, but played along with his antics by creating a list of things Cage would have to fulfill to win her. When he started to work his way through the list, Arquette got scared and avoided him. They met again many years later and then went on to marry. If you did that to someone and they were like, okay, I bought a hot air balloon and I, whatever, it's Nicolas Cage, so I'm sure he did some weird things. Would you be like, cool? Or would you be like, gotta go?
That's an interesting one. I don't know. I think probably gotta go, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That would be my first inclination
that
too.
Would be my first
Good job, Patricia. You hold out and just make sure that he,
I did get nominally distracted.
Just now? What are you looking at?
Yeah. So there's a documentary that came out a few years ago called Arizona Raised.
Oh.
And it was what happened to the babies in right? I'm like, I kind of maybe need to see this.
This is what I need to
So,
know. This is. I love a wormhole, man. Oh, I
right.
didn't even know that was a documentary.
So there you go.
Are
So
they?
that could
Are
be
they a
right.
lot? Are they all alive? Still alive?
There is not a ton of information about it, I
Okay.
must
Okay.
say.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how accessible it is, but apparently it exists. So there you
Okay.
go.
Well, we have to figure out what happened. And if Nathan Jr. is the best of all of them,
Yes,
then they should have kept him.
he's our
Anyways,
finest boy.
right? Okay.
Uh-huh.
So back to Nicholas. After
Uh-huh.
his first role, apparently his first role was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Had this movie not existed, we would have not gotten any of these people.
It's true.
Like everybody is in this movie. So that was 1982. He adopted the stage name of Cage because he wanted to assure himself, and probably other people, that any success he had was based on his own merits, not the fame of his uncle, Francis Ford
Yep.
Coppola.
Yep.
Which I didn't, yeah, I kind of knew that, but whatever.
Do you
Um,
know?
hmm,
Do you know where he got Cage from?
no,
So he's a massive comic book fan.
I do
So
know
it is
that.
taken. It's taken from Luke Cage, the comic book character.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
That's great.
That's my understanding, at least. Anyway. Yeah.
I love it. It's true.
Yeah, it is true. We've decided.
Yeah, it's true.
We set the truth here.
That's right. Um, okay, I got two more. He said
Go
that
for it.
he realized that all great movie stars, such as Spencer Tracy, had a recognizable voice. So he has stylized his whole, like, his own, he's got his own canter to the way he speaks.
That's interesting.
But he did it's on purpose.
That's
He's like,
that's fascinating.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good.
it's
And
kind
he
of like
does.
Christopher Walken has his
Yeah.
own, and like definitely so does our boy
That's the fact that that's
Nick Luke
intentional is really
Cage.
interesting to me. Yeah, I mean, like him speaking is a distinct thing, and like it's fascinating how intentional that is. I really had no idea. I thought that was just kind of how he spoke, but yeah, there you go.
Okay. Okay. This is what everyone needs to know. He
Okay.
ate a real cockroach in the film Vampire's
Uh,
Kiss in 1988.
uh,
This reportedly took 3 takes. He once said about the experience, every muscle in my body didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway. I wonder how true that is for him in just general like life, daily
yeah,
life. Yeah. So,
speaks a lot to his
yep.
craft. You
Yep.
know.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so then facts about the movie itself.
Hmm.
This is probably my favorite. 15 babies played the Arizona quintuplets in the film. So I wonder if this
Okay.
ties into your.
The documentary I was
Yeah.
talking about.
hmm One of the babies was fired during production when it learned to walk. And this is a parenting note. The mother went so far as to put her baby's shoes on backwards in order to prevent him from walking.
That's nuts. That is
Gross,
nuts.
gross, gross. Um, Okay, you'll like this one. The shot in which the camera moves in on Florence, Arizona, discovering that Nathan Jr. has been kidnapped is a direct homage to Evil Dead, a film in which Joel Coen was an assistant director.
Yes.
And then,
There's a lot of crossover with them and Sam Raimi. Yeah, the Coens
yes,
and Sam Raimi knew
yes,
each other kind of growing up or
yep.
working, getting their career started.
So, okay, so the relationship between Nicolas Cage and the Coen brothers, what do you think? Good, bad,
I'm
easy?
guessing not great, probably in overall, because they never worked with him again. I don't think.
I don't think they did either. They did such
No,
a good job. So I was
they
like,
did.
I'm sure it was great.
Yeah.
No, Beth, you're just, oh, sweetie. So it was respectful but turbulent. When he arrived on set and at various other points during production, Cage offered suggestions to the Coen brothers, which
Uh-oh.
they largely ignored. Cage said that Joel and Ethan have very strong vision, and I learned how difficult it is to accept another artist's vision. They have an autocratic nature. Plus, there's 2 of them, so it's like
Yeah.
majority
You're right.
rules.
You're immediately outvoted.
You
Yeah.
are. Yeah. So good job making suggestions that we'll ignore. Joel replied that he understood why Cage would make that statement, saying it was a lot of fun working with Nick, but that some of his improvisations clashed with their vision and had to be edited. So he
Okay.
did what he wanted anyway. And they were like, that's
That's
going on the cutting room floor.
yeah. Yeah.
However, the Coens
Yeah.
clarified that they would much prefer working with an actor who, like Cage, possessed a fertile imagination over
Yes.
ones whose performance needed to be kickstarted. So,
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. No, I like that. Okay.
Okay, one more. When
Got
Matthew
one more to
McConaughey was asked about the movie he watched the most times, he said Raising Arizona.
pick. Amazing.
I know. I love it.
I love it. That is good. It's a good choice. Great choice. Awesome. So let's get into our final few wee sections. First of all, again, as I was teasing, probably another very tough too legit to fit. But I think it has to go to high for me just because it was incredible selection of shirts. I particularly liked the blue one with the ship wheel on them, all the ship wheels on them.
Wait
I
a
don't know if you
minute.
remember
Was that
that
his
shirt particularly.
uniform?
No, no, no. He had like a casual shirt that was a blue shirt and it had like, the wheel on the ship, like lots of
Yes.
those all over it. It was
Yes.
lovely.
Yes.
But
Okay.
just great shirts in general. And like you say, flip flops and socks alone is going to get him the prize here.
Oh
Um,
man, I'm looking into shirts right now. These are.
they're all good,
I
basically.
also like the one. I don't remember which shirt he was wearing, but he's wearing the nylon over his face. And he's just
Yes.
kind of given up on life at that point. He's just kind of running with a stack of Huggies diapers with the nylon over his face with this, like, I think it was one of his red, like, Hawaiian shirts. Just,
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
just, so good. So good.
Killer.
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
Um,
I
Andy's
agree. I agree.
Andy's Animal Acting Award this week has to be a group award for the Dog Stampede.
Dog pack.
So good.
So good. I was like, yay! I was
These
like, you
dogs gave us some
guys,
trouble.
the kids, I was like, look at these, because we love bad dogs being
Yeah,
bad.
we do.
Yeah. And especially a pack of dogs being bad is my
So
favorite
good.
thing. So the
Giving
kids
up
were like, oh,
props and
look at
things.
all those dogs. I was like, Andy's going to be so happy because he does this animal
Thrilled.
acting award for animal acting.
Thrilled. Thrilled. All right.
You should see his
So,
face, you guys. He is actually thrilled.
I am genuinely thrilled.
I know, I know.
So, Beth, in terms of... So, let me start that again. So, for Raising Arizona, would you
Yes.
revisit, remember, refuse, or redo?
I would revisit.
Yeah.
I would say I revisit this one probably at least every other year, if not every year.
Wow.
And I'm always like, I do that with like the Hudsucker Proxy is another one that I like. And that's probably like an
Mm-hmm.
every 5 years one. And we should probably do that at some point, like, for
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
But I just, every time I watch this, I see more of what I love about the Coens and these
Yeah.
characters and Holly Hunter.
Yeah.
So good. It's just so good.
No, an easy revisit for me as well. It was a real joy to go through it. Also, it does, one of my favourite things movies do, which is it's just over 90 minutes.
Just over 90 minutes.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Love
90-ish
it.
minutes or less.
90-ish minutes or less. That's what I'm looking for all the time, every time.
Any recs you give, just, keep an eye on
That was
that.
that's one of the great things about Hokum at the start of the episode I was talking about. Just about 93 minutes or so. Beautiful. Okay. So, Beth, what has been bringing you joy this week?
Um, we got into town last night. We're at Oxford. I've never been here before. Well, first joy is I slept all the way on the flight.
Hell
It
yeah.
was great.
That's great.
It was great. But I think I don't see. I like old things. I
Yeah.
do, and I don't. It's like I live on the West Coast. United States of America is celebrating its 250th anniversary, which is like nothing.
Yeah.
We babies. So it's just like we walked by it's called the Radcliffe Camera. And it's this beautiful building from, hundreds and thousands of years ago. And it doesn't happen very often, but I'll walk across a piece of really old architecture and I start crying. And
Yeah.
it's just so overwhelmingly beautiful, knowing the history, and who has come before, and just
Yep.
it's just so overwhelmingly wonderful. And so yeah, we just walking around this place has brought me a lot of joy.
Yeah, that's lovely. I mean, Oxford is like teeming with history as well. Like
Yeah.
it is like a really old part of the country.
Yeah.
So that's very nice. Okay.
What about you?
So, So for me, I started reading a book called White Tiger, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. I was really worried that it was going to be like I had been aware of it, and I was aware that there was a film made of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was kind of wary that it was going to be one of those like folk tale-y type things, like a kind of Life of Pi type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's really kind of quite chaotic and kind of like humorous in a way that I wasn't expecting. So I've been thoroughly enjoying it recently, I must say.
Uh, does this take place in India?
Yes.
Huh. What's the
Uh,
Man Booker Prize?
Um, it's an important literary prize, but I can't tell you
Did
much
they
more than that
really
off the top
call
of my
it the
head.
Man Booker? I hope his name is Man Booker. And it's not
I
like,
think,
hey,
yeah,
Man Booker Prize. Let's just
I
give him
think there,
that. Let's call
I
it
think
that.
it is quite a historical
Okay.
thing, but I can't speak with authority on it.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's okay.
let's find. We'll tease that for next week. We'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
the Man Booker Prize next
Man
week.
Booker Prize. I'm
Okay.
going to take you to, so apparently this is where, are you a fan of Lord of the Rings and all those books?
Yeah.
So there's a Tolkien had a house
Yes.
here,
Yep.
and kind of much like the Goonies house, you can like walk up to it and take photos. And it's a
Okay.
private family that lives there. So let's go make some people feel
I'm
uncomfortable.
sure they are used to it at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes.
Um,
So we'll have adventures to share with everybody next time,
exactly.
and pictures probably.
Next week we are going to be looking at Wild at Heart, which is our next movie in our Nicolas Cage season. But yeah, Beth, can you let everybody know where they can find us?
You can find. I'm still laughing about
Beth is wheezy.
ibangin.com. You can
Oh,
find
okay,
us
yeah, yeah.
at movietestofTime.com
Sweet, get
and
that.
Spotify, YouTube, all the places. We've got shorts on just, little clips of us chit chatting. So if anybody wants to see me in Andy's room when he comes to stay with the one hanger, please look on YouTube,
Right, pretty
Facebook,
exciting.
TikTok. Yeah.
Love it. All right. And I think in that case we've reached the end of this week's episode. So as always, we'd like to say goodbye to our silly and criminal fans. We love you.
Wait.
Bye.
We aim to
What?
please. Will
We
you
aim
please aim?
Yeah, okay. All right. So give us feedback on which one you like better.
Love
All
you guys.
right. We
Bye.
love
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye
Bye. Bye.
bye.
Bye.